So to all my day ones, you guys have always been there for me. Thank you so much. I literally would not be here if it's not for you. I hope I can meet all of you when I go home to the Philippines. Gusto ko kayong makilala lahat at sobrang thank you sa lahat ng support niyo. Love you.
Thank you. Salamat, bongga.
Aww, I see.
Yeah, perfect. Street photography. Roy, pili ka mag-shoot.
What does it mean for you to be the first Filipina to ever walk the Victoria's Secret fashion show?
Do you want me to speak to the camera or sa'yo? What does it mean? Pwede Tagalog.
Oh, ayun ba? Pwede.
What does it mean? Siyempre naman, di ba, lumaki ako sa Pilipinas, tapos lahat ng mga Pinoy ang super fan ng Victoria's Secret, grabe. At tapos wala pang Pinay na naging Victoria's Secret. Siyempre, nung lumipat ako sa New York, gusto ko maging, you know, yung unang model na mag-walk sa fashion show. As in, goal ko talaga yun. Gusto ko ibigay ko sa mga Pinoy kasi siyempre wala pang nakagawa nun. So when I booked it, syempre I was so happy, and I was actually so happy that everyone else was happy. Parang there's nothing more accurate than me saying that my success felt like success for the whole country. Like everyone kept messaging me, telling me that they felt like they were walking the show as well because it was like they were living through me, and I love that, and it's being a Filipino, syempre, nakaka-proud.
What did it take ba to get that job? I mean, do you have to go through a certain process? You have to, you know, put yourself out there? Because you know, you moved here just because you wanted to model.
Yes.
And you got your own agent na local.
Yeah. So I'm not exaggerating when I say that this is literally the hardest job you can get in the world. So hard that there's never been a Filipino, and I can't explain how much hard work I put into this. When my agents told me 2 months before the casting that I got the casting. Well, like what do you say? Like what do you call it? Sorry, like, you know, parang pre-approved for casting, because they don't just cast anyone. So they choose a select number of girls to do the first casting. And when my agent told me that I was approved, like I am actually, you know, able to go to this casting, I was like, this is it. Like, this is my chance. Like, he told me 2 months before the casting that you're doing the casting. And like, he had to sit me down and be like, you have to prepare for this. Like, you have to work out and you have to look your best. So I was a bit hopeful because I was already working for the brand. I was shooting for Victoria's Secret, and I was like, maybe there's a chance that I'll get it, but there's no guarantee. I know so many models who shoot for the brand every single week, and they didn't get the show. So there's like, it's so unpredictable. It's so hard. Even if you work for the brand, there's no guarantee that you're gonna get the show. So 2 months before the casting, I was already working out. I changed my diet. I love burgers, pizza, oh my God, adobo, lahat yan. As in, linuluto ko talaga yan. Actually, like, yung linuluto ko lang talaga sa bahay ko is Filipino food. Kasi hindi ko makuha, parang pagpunta ko sa Filipino restaurant dito, hindi siya parehas eh. Parang mas gusto ko pag ako magluluto kasi mas alam ko yung gusto ko.
So yung lasa.
Tsaka timpla ko talaga, alam ko yung...
So yung casting ba parang ghosting, di ba? When you go there, you walk, they look at you.
Yeah.
Meron bang screen test?
Okay, so I'll get to that. So I worked out, prepared for 2 months, and casting day comes. The first casting, it's the one where they see like it's 3 days, and they see like a lot of girls. So the first casting, I went on the second day out of 3 days, and that's when you learn if you get the callback or not. So I learned that I did get the callback, and we did like a runway, like a walk. And so the callback was a week after the first casting. So the callback is pretty much the real deal, because that's where all the big girls, you're like fighting for the same spot. And I go in the room and I see all these girls I follow and I admire, and like we all want the same job. Like I'm here, like these girls I love, like we're in the same room, and it was freaking me out because I never imagined that I'd ever be in that place. And it was just honestly like, if I was telling myself if I didn't get it, then it was just such a great experience to be in that room. Sorry. The callbacks was Tuesday and Wednesday. And then I found out I got the show on Friday. So I go to my agency because I had a casting in the agency, and then they were like, when I go in the room, they had these flowers ready for me, and they were like, "You got the show!" And that's when I found out, like 2 days after the callback. And it was the most nerve-wracking thing ever, because all I could think about was, did I get it? Did I not? And that anticipation was just killing me. So yeah.
So how did you become a model ba? Was it like something na gusto mo talaga when you were young, or it just happened that nakita ka ng agent?
Yeah, well, so pinanganak ako sa Pampanga, and I grew up there. Dun ako nag-high school, and I honestly didn't know anything about modeling. I didn't know that there was an industry. I didn't know, like, meron pala sa Manila. As in, I was so detached from Manila that I was living in my, own world in Pampanga. And then my friends started doing modeling in Manila. Like, they would go to Manila for a day and go back. And I was like, this is interesting. I never thought I would, it was a thing. So I started like going with them, and then my career started there. Like I started doing fashion shows, and then I did editorials, I did campaigns, and then I started doing even more stuff when I moved to Manila for college when I went to Ateneo.
So on the day of the Victoria's Secret fashion show, ano yung feeling when you're actually walking na on the
runway?
On the runway na, di ba? Parang kita mo na lahat.
Yeah, the lights and everything. So, well, I was actually worried that I might get nervous, like the nerves might get me. But like I told you, I did so much preparations for the show that I felt ready. So when I got like minutes before we went out to the stage, all I could feel was that I was excited to be there. I was actually like surprised. I already was expecting that I would get nervous, but I wasn't. All I had, the energy in the backstage is just so good. Everyone lifts each other up, and it's just like a good atmosphere. And I was just so excited to be there. I was so thankful. And the moment I was on stage, on the runway, I couldn't really see, like there was a crowd, but I couldn't really see them. There was just like all these lights and cameras, and like I could see, but I couldn't see. So it was fun, and I just wanted to have a good time. The crowd was awesome, so you're interacting with the crowd and all their models on the stage.
So yung mga inspiration mo ng mga models, andun ba? Or do you have any other models that inspire sa'yo? Mga supermodels or mga...
Oh yeah, so funny when I saw Adriana at the rehearsals. I was like, oh my god, I'm in the same room as Adriana. I can't believe this, because watching the show growing up, Adriana is the VS girl. I would see her and be like, oh my god, Adriana's so beautiful. She embodies the perfect Victoria's Secret girl, and she's just so amazing on the runway. She has such a presence, and I would always copy the poses that she would do after I watched the show. And then seeing her there, and she like broke it to us. She was like, guys, this is my very last show. And then she started crying, and then they played her tribute, and I was just like, every single model at rehearsals cried. It was just such an emotional time, and to be able to walk with her on the same show, on her very last Victoria's Secret show was...
So swerte ka pa rin. You made it to that point before she left.
Yeah, it just felt like honor. Like, this is someone that I looked up to growing up, and I get to be a part of her last show. It's just like, it meant a lot to me, and I couldn't believe I was there.
And so, you know, having done this, how do you want this someone to inspire other young Phil-Ams or
Yeah.
other young Filipinos
Yeah.
who's dreaming to, you know, na one day then to
Yeah.
do break the ceiling and do something
Yeah.
what you did? So,
Coming from like my experience, this is something that I never thought would be possible. I was, you know, I would watch these shows, and I remember like I was in school and Ateneo, and my friends and I would watch and be like, wow, they're so beautiful. But never did I imagine that I'm like, wow, I actually like want to be in that runway. Like I just like this, like if I could tell myself, if I could, you know, go back and tell myself, I'd just be like, dream hard, dream big, no matter how big it is. Like don't limit yourself to what you think you can only do. Like this is something I never thought, like I could never, you know, have imagined, and you just have to dream big. That's it.
So, kumusta naman yung reaction ng family mo? I mean, knowing all this, having seen
Yeah.
yung mga pictures, ano yung, what did they tell you?
Well, I was having brunch with my dad and my mom, and they were like, one thing that like made me almost cry was like, I'm so proud of you. And it was just like such a real moment, and I was like, this is actually all happening. And you know, my mom's my #1 stalker. She like follows everything and sees everything, and like to see, like for her to see me grow from like this, you know, small town girl to now like a Victoria's Secret model, she's my #1 fan.
They're still both in Pampanga?
Yeah, my dad flew back to Pampanga, and my mom is back there in Marin.
So when you heard the news, who was the first person you called?
I called my mom.
Your mom.
It was actually, so I found out the news at like 11 a.m. New York time, and that means it was like 11 p.m. Manila time. So I was thinking, is my mom still awake? Because she sleeps at around 9 o'clock. And then she wakes up at like 3 a.m. So I'm like, let's just try and see if she's awake. So I call her, and then she goes, she was excited. That's what I have to say. She was.
And kumusta naman ang life of a New Yorker? What's your daily routine ba dito?
Daily routine. It's my lifestyle definitely changed throughout this whole experience. Like I am now living such a healthy lifestyle. I work out every day. You know, in the morning I wake up, I usually work out in the morning. So I have my coffee, I go to my gym, and then if I have castings, I do that, or if I have work, I usually try to do my workout before my day starts, so I don't have to worry about it anymore. Because then if like tapos na siya, I don't have to think about it anymore. So yeah, like I'm a homebody. I love staying at home. I love reading books. Just like things that you can do at your house. I do it a lot. Netflix. I like, New York is great, but it's also like so crazy that being in my own home is
So
what.
what is your cheat meal naman? Kasi diba you have to
Cheat meal?
stop eating a lot of stuff, or at least.
I'd say sweets. Yeah, that's actually the hardest thing I had to give up in preparation for the show was sweets. I could give up, you know, burgers, pasta, no problem, but sweets, I have to have it every day, and I just had to cut that off.
And what is your comfort food naman?
Pinoy food,
Basta
syempre.
Pinoy food. And then, of course, you cook, diba? You cook your own.
Yeah.
But what's your best dish na ginagawa?
Na ginagawa ko. I love bistec.
Bistec.
Super. Adobo, sinigang, lahat.
So if you were not a model, ano yung other dream or yung pathway mo talaga?
I think I would, because I took up advertising in university, so it's something definitely I would have delved into, like something in the creative side of a business.
So now, what is your ultimate dream? Ano yung, what's next for you?
I would, actually it's so funny because someone asked me, what's your next goal after the BS? And I was like, I would love to work with Vogue. And I was like, well, actually, I have worked. You know, I worked with Vogue, so I'm like, wait, so what's my next goal after that? Maybe do a designer show, like maybe walk for Dior or Dolce. Yeah, you know, something big and something that I could never thought I would ever do.
So how did the VS, being part of the VSFS change your life in a way na ano yung nag-open up for in your career?
Yeah. Definitely more opportunities. I worked with Vogue, and
After
this was after VS. They featured me as the first Filipina Victoria's Secret runway model, and
so it's out now?
Yeah, it came out. Yeah.
Hanapin ko yan.
Yeah, it's on my Instagram. You should watch it. I did like this.
It go out?
It came out like maybe last week.
Last week. Okay.
Last
Masyado
week.
na-stalk yung ano mo eh.
Oh my gosh. Panoodin mo.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's definitely opened up doors for more opportunities.
So aside from Vogue, is any other big brands na medyo na-excite ka, the past few days or the past,
Wait for it. Yung Vogue kasi lumabas na eh. Kaya nasabi ko, wait ka lang.
So how would you say, how big of a career boost yung maging, can you call it angel ka rin ba?
No, it's
Iba yung angel
model.
na yung may mga pakpak, diba?
Angels are contract girls. So
Okay.
like these are
So you are a
model. Yes.
Who walked the run, the VS.
Yes, VS model.
So how did that, ano yung naging career boost nun? How did that boost your career as a model?
It's definitely like, it changes how people see you, because now you're a VS model. And not a lot of girls can say that. Especially Filipino girls, because I'm literally like the only girl who's walked the show. So there's so much prestige in it.